to a few issues. First of all, I'm a little hungover today, but you know what? At least I'm being a human being and being honest with you guys. Human beings, we have flaws, right? Okay, where do we begin? Can we just talk about Jersey for a hot second? It's not my fault they keep doing interviews. So before we get into Margaret Josephs for a minute, Danielle Cabral has done an interview and has said, and I feel like the headlines for this are getting misconstrued, but she has done an interview and has basically said that it was a really hard season and she doesn't know what the future holds, which is actually true. And that she is not sure she can handle another season like this season. Now, there's all these headlines that Danielle Cabral is nervous that she's going to be the next person that is fired from Real Housewives of New Jersey. I don't really understand that headline because nobody has been fired. We don't know anything. Rachel Fuda can say that she's unemployed, which I think is smart because you are unemployed today, but nobody's been fired. So I think that's like a misleading headline that she fears that she's going to be the next person fired because nobody has been fired yet. It's going to be months before we know. But she said that she doesn't know if she could handle another season like this one, that it is not a 3-month job. It is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week thing, and that she is anxiety-ridden all the time, with all the blogs and, having to clap back at people online, and she doesn't sleep. And, well, I mean, that is all true, Miss Cabral, but let's just be honest for 5 minutes. You are going to come back when you are asked, if you're asked. So let's just not get too crazy that you don't know if you could handle a season like this. She said if it was the good old days of New Jersey, she would be back. Girl, I like you. I do. And do you hear me ruffling papers? I actually have some notes for this. Girl, I like you, but honestly, sweetie, you're not going to quit the show Real Housewives of New Jersey. You're not going to get asked back and say, you don't know if you could handle it because you're so fucking stressed out. Give me a fucking break. You're coming back if you're asked. But I like her. So there you go. Now, Margaret Josephs, my friend, the Sarge, Marge, has done an interview. Can I just say one thing before we get into this? I mean, look, we got to do a job here. We're not going to go easy on her if we have things to say. But she did in this recent interview that she just did say that they never wrapped up Joe Benigno, her husband's cancer storyline, and they didn't even ask her that at the watch party, and that he is in the first stage of prostate cancer and he is okay. He just has to get tested every 4 months. And it might stay stagnant and it might never grow for 10 years, 20 years, or ever, but it's something he has to get checked every 4 months. My girl Shannon Doherty passed away for cancer. I have cancer in my family. I would say 100%, but I hate to say 100%. 99% of the people listening to this right now have been affected by cancer, probably in your own family, but certainly if not through friends. So it is a bitch. And so before we actually get to New Jersey, and I got some things to say to Margaret, this is, of course, what is the most important. And I would never wish harm on Margaret, Teresa, Louie, anyone. I would never wish cancer on my worst enemy. I am convinced I am going to get cancer. It runs in my family. And that is why I am so happy today. I am so blessed. And I am so happy every single minute of my life. I hate to be a broken record. Happiness is a choice. Turn the fucking dial to happiness. Are you alive? Do you have your health? If so, I don't want to hear about one of your problems. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't bring your shit to me. I don't care. I don't want to hear about the guy that's not calling you back. I don't want to care. I don't want to hear about anything. I mean, I do life consulting on the weekends. Then, I would like to hear from you and help you, but you have your health. That's what counts. So I would never wish harm, and I'm thrilled to hear that about Joe. They didn't follow up with that, of course, but that's the good thing. So Cancer's a bitch. Thank you. I'm glad that he is okay, Margaret. Let's get into actually the rest of the interview, girlfriend. So she has revealed that the hardest season for her is the ponytail pull. Miss Staub. I find Miss Staub to be an icon. I love my Staub. I will always like Staub. I will always, the heart wants what the heart wants. I'm sorry that was a bad season for you, girl, but I like Danielle Staub. Sorry. And that she also had a very hard time right out of the gate being called anti-Semitic. She said by the nut job. We all know she is referring to Siggy. I am not calling Siggy a nut job. I like Siggy. When I'm in the Hamptons, she's down the street in West Hampton, and she said that the nut job is still talking about her to this day. And yes, she is on the Behind the Velvet Rope podcast. So thank you for the shout out, Margaret Josephs. We loved having Siggy on earlier this year. And she does refer to you as a roast beef sandwich, which has been left out in the sun too long. Direct quote by Sigalit on the Behind the Velvet Rope podcast. She's not going to clap back at you. Margaret Siggy has one thing and one thing only on her mind, and she is for the cause. She's going ahead in November. The elections are all that she cares about, so she's not going to clap back at you, Margaret. But thanks for the shout out. Mentioning that Siggy is still talking about you. Everyone go and listen to our chats with Siggy. Margaret says that she wishes New Jersey was, they filmed around the holidays. I guess she wants to talk about sprinkle cookies and pinole cookies, but she's saying she wishes that, they had Christmas tree wars and shady stuff like that. And New Jersey has gone too far. Well, girl, at least you admit that it has gone too far. We are not going to have a show about Christmas tree wars. Maybe we will, but that is called The Real Housewives of Potomac, Atlanta, or possibly Orange County. Hey, or New York City. Not on New Jersey. Let me sip my coffee. I am sorry if I just gulped too loud. She's saying that she thinks that what ruined New Jersey is that people don't get over shit. She's referring to her ex-friend Jackie Goldschneider and saying that season Jackie would not get over the fact that the Evan cheating rumors, and she went on and on and on about Evan cheating, and girlfriend has to get over it. And, she is saying that because the fans say, well, isn't Teresa a strong person? Isn't she a resilient person? She went to prison. And Margaret is saying, first of all, she had no choice but to go to prison. Well, I mean, that is true. When you're found guilty, you got to go to prison. You got to serve the time. Although nobody knows where Julie Chrisley is right now. So, is she on the run? Is she on the lam? Where is Julie Chrisley? I can't speak today because I'm hungover. But that Teresa